Sustainability, sustainable fashion. It's the young designers today are changing the course of the way that we are going to be dressing for tomorrow. Fast fashion is over. Zara, H&M, Century 21. And those stores are really becoming slow fashion. And we're looking to designers like Nabiya Pitts, a student at Lynn University in Boca Raton, who is creating her own one-of-a-kind sustainable handbags. She is one of many young designers today who are changing the course and being the change makers of fashion. And we have her on The Look today. We're going to be talking to her about her background, why this is so important to her, why she's a change maker, and the future. And also how she is educating one person at a time, where they too can help save the planet and make sustainable fashion something that we will be wearing and having every day. The Look. I'm Dr. Fashion, and today we have a segment that's really exciting. It's all about sustainability, sustainable fashion. As you know, fashion today is all about sustainability. So today we have a young designer who's risen to the occasion to tell us about sustainable fashion. Nabiya Pitts is a fashion student at Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida. And she has really been a change maker in sustainable fashion. She is the person who will be a designer in the future, in the next couple of years. And she understands with global warming, with what's happening in fashion, with fast fashion, like companies like Zara, Century 21, and H&M, the problems that we are having and facing as a society and as consumers. So we're very excited to have Nabiya on the program today to talk to us about her background, what brought her into the field of sustainable fashion, how she's a change maker, and what she's doing about it today. So we're really happy to have you on the show, Nabiya, to tell us about sustainable fashion and what it means. So what got you into this? What got you into being a young designer who is really wanting to change the world one bag at a time?
So, hello. I got into fashion when I was about 10 years old. It's always just been a part of my life. My dad introduced it to me. He was the one who taught me how to sew. He wasn't a fashion person per se, but he's the one who introduced me into the idea of getting into fashion. And I started making clothes and jewelry when I was really young. But then as I got older, I knew that I wanted to have a business in fashion, and I always knew I wanted to make a difference. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. So then as I ended up getting into high school, I learned about sustainability overall and just like changing your lifestyle habits to be able to live more sustainably, to be able to help make a change on our planet. So then once I actually got to your class in college and we started talking a lot about the ethics within the fashion industry and also sustainability, specifically pertaining to fashion, it really pushed me forward into realizing that's where I can make a difference with my love for fashion and business. So then I learned about the Watson program here at Lynn, and I immediately jumped ship. I changed my major to social impact and entrepreneurship, kept my love for fashion as my minor. So then as I started trying to figure out what type of business I was going to do specifically, because I knew I liked fashion, but where was I going to work in, I remembered my love for purses specifically. And it just hit me to just start working on figuring out how I can make bags out of all the clothing that I was either going to throw away or donate, and the clothes weren't going to even get to be put on the rack again, and all the clothes that I was being given, because I get a lot of hand-me-downs from family members because my family is huge. And I started by making one bag out of a skirt that I loved, and then someone saw it and they liked it, and so I started making another bag, and that's how Nabiya's Second Life Bags and Accessories came to be.
So this second life, I love it. Nabiya's second life and giving purpose and sustainability new life. We know so much of this goes into landfills. It goes out in the ocean. It's dumped. And it is really an eyesore for all of us. We don't have the space. We don't have the dump sites. We don't have the ocean fills for this as well. So we know your background, what brought you into this, why it's so important to you. What can you do to educate the young audience we have on the look, and everybody for that matter, to tell them why this is important and why you are the change maker of the future doing this? You told us some of it, but really, why is it so important to you? And how can you change the minds of so many people who love fast fashion, who go out to Zara and say, I love this, I gotta have it, and then after one or two tries or wears, they throw it away? What can you do about it? So important. You're the next generation. You're the next consumer. You're the next designer. You're next entrepreneur. You're the one we're looking to for answers. Sorry to put you on the spot, Nabiya. You're the one, right? Throw you under the bus, put you on the spot. But it's so important. What can you tell to the audience who really might not know about this? They've heard about it. They know the problem. So what's the solution?
Well, to answer the first part of the question, my why as to why I'm doing this is the best way to answer it I could think is why not? Because I see it as there is an opportunity to have that difference made. And if I'm going to enter this industry, why just decide to be like everybody else and join and be a part of the problem when there are other solutions and other possible ways that we can go about this to be able to have our enjoyment and love for fashion while also making it have a difference and an impact in this world. Because there are things that can be done to be able to really see a change. So, and then for your question about educating the people my age or younger, I would say there's so many avenues and opportunities for education, whether it be through social media or doing your own personal research or getting in contact with someone that you might know who knows a bit more. Just having that urge to get to know and not thinking that you have to go big in the beginning, because that was my biggest issue starting off. Was I wanted to be more sustainable, but I thought like I have to cut this, I have to do this. And then there's also the worry of, oh, this is a lifestyle change, so I'm going to have to go out and buy this. I have to go do this to be able to be more sustainable. No, start small with what you have. Learn from YouTube videos. That's how I started. It was just looking up videos about people who lived more sustainably and just using the opportunities and resources available to me to be able to continue to learn and taking one small thing at a time to apply to my life, whether it was me learning about which stores were fast fashion and choosing to stop buying from them specifically or buying less, or appreciating the fact that I use clothes that are either hand-me-downs or thrifted and enjoying the fact that that's a way of making a difference. And then just taking little wins in your everyday life as you continue to learn and applying that as you go along. So it's just a really taking your time process instead of thinking, oh, I have to do everything immediately, which you can, but it's not possible for everybody.
Right. And that's really interesting. And I picked up on so many interesting things that you mentioned. And one thing that really comes to mind, I think what you're talking about too, is less is more. Less is more for what we do. We, as a society, we as fashion consumers and fashionistas, we want to buy more. Whether it's luxury, whether it's mass market, we want more and more and more. What can you say about quality? Quality is so important. Maybe have a few less things, and certainly sustainable is that, a few less things where less is more. That you can have better things, might cost a little bit more, they're going to last longer, they're made of natural fibers, including what you're making them from. So how can we educate people, again, education? How can we educate them where less is more? You don't have to have everything. Just a few of really what you like and love that are made really well, great quality, less being more. Are those buzzwords that you believe in and can share that with our look audience?
So with the idea of having less as more and properly educating people on it, I think the importance is to not only from a person who's like sharing from that point of view, not only sharing the less part, but showing alternatives as to make it easier on the person who's entering this world of fashion. So I would suggest one of my favorite things to do is having events like clothing swaps or something. That's something that you can do with even just your friends. It doesn't have to be a huge event, but for someone who loves getting more and more and more clothes, because obviously it's a love of mine and a passion, something that I do is if I go out and buy things, I will tell myself, okay, so I will take these things to the side and not just like throw them away. If I have too much excess, I feel like I will either give them to a family member or a friend who I know will wear them, or I will have them set aside specifically for the next time I do an event like a clothing swap where we're specifically trading clothes and having people of that interest. And that way, as I'm trading the clothes, I'm still getting something new to me, but it's still more sustainable because of the fact that I'm not going out and buying more while another person's going out and buying more. So for it all to eventually end up in a landfill or just wasted somewhere. Instead, this way, the less is more because we're doing more for our environment and for our planet while we're also still enjoying the things that we enjoy.
And you know, there's a great organization, and we've worked with them not only at university, but they're huge all around the world. It's called earthday.org. And you've probably heard of them. And what you said is really exciting because they have a campaign called My Planet, My Closet. And the idea is that you could take one of your bags, bring it to an Earth Day event, and you can barter a trade. So one of your handmade bags, bartering it for a coat, for another bag. Guess what? Repurposing. And the idea is that we're not throwing it into a dump site or the ocean or the trash. People get another use to it. We see this in so many third world countries where they would love to have what we're discarding, but they don't have the opportunity. Countries in the Caribbean and Haiti, Dominican Republic, so many other places that people would love to have what we're discarding every day, but they don't have the opportunity or the means. This would be great, I think, for you, not only your education and your educational process of reaching out to these people, but working with organizations like Earth Day, working with local campaigns and local sustainability organizations, where you could reach out to organizations in countries and really help them with their sustainability goals, having clothes on their back. What would a great purse or bag be? Wow, nobody can afford it. Nobody has it. And here they will treat it as something new, like they've never had it before. And I think what you're doing as a young person is so exciting because you now can reach to not only to students and our viewers on the Look TV, but to so many people around the world who don't have the opportunity of really owning anything of value. As I said, a hand-me-down 2 or 3 times down the road is something to them that is golden. It's something that is worth $1 million. They just don't have the opportunity. So I think it's so exciting that you are getting the word out. So another question is, as you're getting the word out and sort of the future of what your second chance is, Nabiya's second chance.
Nabiya's
right?
second life.
Second life or second chance. So how can, again, we talked about education and the idea of reaching out. Have you given it some thought about how you really can reach all these different markets? There are a lot of great markets for this. As I said, it could be an Earth Day organization. It could be sustainable organizations that work with so many of these different kinds of with cities and with different countries and so forth. How can you reach out to them? And how can you talk to another student or somebody young to have the same purpose and drive that you do? How will you do that? And that gets us into our last question. How do you do it for the future?
Well, first thing I do is I focus on not putting too much weight on it. I know it is a heavy impact and a heavy weight that we are attempting to make, but it's the idea of making it casual for everyone else. Because when there's so much weight put on it, people think, oh, there's no way I could make a difference, or it could create this idea of, oh, I have to do all this, I have to do all this, when honestly, like I said before, it's simple steps that we can make. So it's just explaining it in a way that it helps them know where they can include themselves, where they can make some changes, and just making it seem possible for them and relate to that person specifically. So when I'm looking at maybe educating one of my peers or talking with them about it and trying to get them involved, I would look at that person, what their personal interests are, and I would think, okay, this might be something that they're interested in. I could say, hey, I'm having a clothing swap event on this day. I know you might be free around that, and I know you were looking at getting some new clothes. This is a fun way. Or like if I know that person has a lot of clothes that they want to get rid of, I might bring that up to them. Or if I know that they have an item that's personalized to them that they can't wear anymore, that they feel like they have to get rid of, or it's just sitting in their closet, I would say, hey, I make bags and I can make this one personalized for you if you want to talk commissions for it. And if you want and through that, it can start the process of a conversation of educating them on that. And then with other businesses, I just simply let them know what impact I am working to create and try to collaborate with them on trying to figure out if there's any way that we can help each other for a business collaboration, and also to help emphasize both of the impacts that we're trying to create, because I work in social impact specifically. So those are usually the businesses I meet.
I think that's incredible. And the last question. What can you tell our Look audience? What's one word of vision or inspiration or one sentence? What could you share with them? Somebody who would like to be like you, who would like to work in sustainable fashion, who would like to really change the world like you are. What could you tell our viewer to really get them inspired like you are for the future?
Just get started. I know that's something that a lot of people say, but it's something that rings so true, and that I stand by to this day, because of the fact that I used to be scared of everything, and I struggled to get anything started because of my worry of, oh, what if it fails? What if I don't get this done? Or, oh, I have to do all these things, and I put so much weight on it. If you just get started with one thing and you allow yourself to take those many steps and not allow yourself to be afraid of failure, anything can be done, anything that you put your mind to it. And it started for me in one of my Watson classes last year. Towards the end of the year, I had a teacher where the whole lesson was on just getting started on rapid prototyping, and he would tell us to bring in these wild things to class and just have us make something on the spot. And so it was just that idea of just getting started. It was that class where I made my first bag because of the fact that I just had to get started.
Wow, that inspiration. Well, you know what? Nabiya has just gotten started, and we want all of you on the Look TV to get started. So for more information about Nabiya Pitts, we have that on the bottom of the screen and her contact information. So anybody who wants to be inspired by the wonderful Nabiya Pitts, you could reach out to her or through our website at thelooktv.net. Nabiya, it was a pleasure having you on The Look today. We love your courage, your drive, your passion for fashion and sustainability. Thanks for being on the program, and good luck to you.
Thank you for having me here.
Thanks. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Andrew Bernstein, also known as Dr. Fashion. This week we have an exciting segment on sustainability. At Lynn University, we were just at a sustainability conference where young people and sustainability experts have the answers to sustainability. It was the SDG Challenge at Lynn University. And this is a South Florida event that The Look covered. So The Look TV is here with Scarlett Lanseth, who is the director. TV is here with Scarlett Lanseth, who is the director who put together the SDG Challenge in South Florida. I know we're here at Lynn University, and we have had the challenge today with so many great speakers, including an incredible fashion student who is doing her own line of bags with sustainability and with t-shirts. Scarlett, can you tell us a little bit about the challenge, how it came together, and what it really means for sustainability, for students today, and really for the future?
The challenge is a SDG challenge is a student competition where local students in South Florida are working with local companies on creating solutions for a sustainability issue that companies are having. We got together, Accountable Impact, the organization I run, with 4 major universities, Lynn University being one of them, Florida International University, University of Miami, and Miami-Dade College. And the beautiful thing is that we were able to create 4 teams with 18 students, and they're all mixed. When I say mixed, is that we have a team of students that have students from FIU, from Lynn University, from UM, and from Miami-Dade College, which is great because that way they can interact between universities. We have an interdisciplinary team. We have students from education, from marine biology, from social entrepreneurship, and the idea is to have them work together, having different approaches to create that solution so that it's going to make South Florida a sustainable region for all.
And telling our Look viewers how important is sustainability and what should they know about sustainability and what's happening with global warming and whatever. What could you tell our Look viewers all around the world?
The reason why we focus on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals is because they focus on sustainable development. So let's start with what sustainable development means, right? The actual definition, it came from 1987 at the UN Convention of the Brundtland Report that says that sustainable development is making sure the resources that we have today are going to be available for future generations. When I say resources, it's like, our earth, our water, our air, so that the next generation can also have a good quality life. So sustainable development needs to be embedded in everything that we do. And when I say embedded in everything that we do, is all governments, all companies, all sectors coming together to advance those 17 global goals. Students are in a very unique time where they're going to be creating the next solutions of the issues that we're facing today. They're going to be the innovators. They're going to be the people that are going to be the champions for sustainability. I'm very proud to say that Lynn, as one of our partners, is championing sustainable development throughout their curriculum, throughout the projects. The sustainability committee within the university, it's just amazing. And it's an invitation for students to join, right? To be part of the solution. And one of the things that I wanted to mention is that many students from Lynn are going to be part of this. So I keep emphasizing that at the individual level, it's also an opportunity to innovate, right? And why I say this is because one of the projects that we're doing with the Miami Herald, one of our companies, sponsors, is the students are going to be creating a sustainable lifestyle guide, meaning that they're going to give you tips, they're going to give you resources and information on how you can change your habits, your consumption. And one of the things that I keep saying is that you can do these small changes at home, at school, at work, by choosing to buy responsibly and sustainably.
That's great. And I know those tips are something that we're going to want to share with our viewers on the Look TV. I know Nabiya Pitts, one of our fashion students, I know you were amazed at her work taking those bags and turning them into sustainable bags, taking t-shirts, and which is really repurposing them. What can you tell us about what she did, the impact, and I know you were wowed by it.
I was blown away, to be honest. I mean, I told you earlier, like, she's wise beyond her years. What started at 12 years old as a passion project became a sustainable company, right? That's what she's aiming for. The one thing that I loved about what she says, like, why do you do this? Someone asked from the audience, one of the students, and she said, why not? Mm-hmm. There has to be some solutions out there, so we need to address them, right? I love the fact that even though she's combining passion for fashion, but she's very well versed in the terminology and sustainability. She's talking about upcycling, recycling, reusing, repurposing, which is fundamental to really advance sustainability in our region.
I think that's great. So you heard it here on the Look First today. Sustainability, impact on the world, and what Lynn University, other institutions are doing about it, what our students are doing about it, how we are impacted. We're going to be getting that guide to you, all of our Look viewers, in the near future. We want to thank you, Scarlett, for informing and educating our viewers on what this means and how impactful it is for everybody who's on the planet today. So on behalf of the Look TV, thank you,
Thank you.
and we'll see you next time.